and Marty are in Chama, New Mexico at the, what's this called? The Cumbers Toltec Railroad. This is where they rebuild the engines there. There's one they've been robbing parts off of. All these engines are 1925 vintage, same as the ones in Durango. And me and Marty are standing here getting ready for this. He's going to fire this thing up and leave in just any second here. We've got to talk to people that work here, do volunteer work. Right in there. That's where they rebuild, they repair, and they backed the locomotive in there a while ago. It's still sitting in there with a head of steam on it. And they rebuild the locomotives in there, try to keep them running. And we learned a whole lot about the intricacies of exactly how these things work, the valving, the steam pressure, the pistons and the strokes, and boiler tubes and pressures, relief valves. Everybody's been real nice about answering questions about these things. And one of the first things this guy's going to do when he gets ready to move, them big pistons can collect water in them. Well, you can't have solid water in the piston because it'll hydrolock. So the first thing he'll do, one of the first things to do is first thing he's going to do is blow his whistle. Second thing he's going to do is going to blow the water out them pistons, which will come out of the left and right side of the front of the engine. And that gets that water out from on top of that piston.
And you should be able to see it go from left to right as he's going slow.
Because you cannot compress water. Water doesn't compress. It'd be like having gasoline flooded on the top of your piston motor in your motorcycle or your car. He hasn't done it yet. But when he does that, I say he'll be ready to move. This is so much more laid back than in Durango. Durango, they did not allow people. See how people's wandering around wherever they want to go? Okay, the relief valve just blew off. That means he's got too much steam pressure in his boiler, and they're letting off some pressure because they don't want it to get over about 190 pounds. Oh. This is a steeper grade than the Durango. It's 4% grade, and fellows around here in the know, until they were talking to us, said this train is really working its butt off the whole way. It's 4% is a maximum this train can go up. You know, after that, I guess it'll get dangerous. You know, they just don't do it. But everybody's been able to wander around. But the only place you can't wander, me and Marty climbed up inside that one. We even took pictures inside the firebox, because of the boiler tubes. In Durango, you can't do none of this. Only place you can, okay, now he's blowing the water out of his piston, right down there. There's that hot water. It looks like steam, but it's actually blowing water out, which turns to steam immediately when it hits the atmosphere. Now it's started to move. And each little chug you hear is the piston's made a stroke and is exhausting the steam up through it exhausts up through the smokestack, which a lot of people don't know. The steam doesn't exhaust from the pistons. He's still blowing the...
But on the mirror of the counter, he's the engineer.
He's a what?
Remember the mayor of the town is the engineer on that train.
Oh yeah.
Mayor Thomas.
There's a piece of history. It's a 90-year-old train. You got 5,000 gallons of water in there and 12 tons of coal. Look, there ain't hardly anybody on the train. Some of the cars are full, some of them are empty.
They don't have an open gondola like Durango does.
I bet you get in that one.
I'd stand in that one the whole time.
Me and Marty are going to ride this, we decided someday. Hi everybody. Enjoy your ride.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
This building here, this big wooden building, that's where they used to, they'd raise the coal up, big pulleys and counterweights, and dump it into the train, load the train up, but they don't use it no more. They use a modern forklift, I think they told me. So, me and Marty are going to chase the train on our motorcycle around. This fella here is from England. He was he's an engineer from England, and it trains his livelihood, and he's one happy camper, this guy here. He's enjoying this so much.
Yeah, he's been in the train business since '73, and he runs the Liverpool train, and he said that in July, back when the bomb went off, he got there 2 minutes before the bomb went off, and some of his passengers probably went down into where the area the bomb went off, and then he took off, and then another train came along, and that's when it all happened. So he was telling us a little bit about that. He's kind of bummed thinking that some of his passengers probably died in that. So he said he's never seen a cooler train ever, and he's been in there in the business since '73. This is cool. Chalmers, New Mexico.
So we're going to follow the train on our motorcycles, and for a while, and so we'll see how that ought to be a lot of fun. Seeing it go through the mountains. What's the elevation here, Marty? 8,000 feet or above, something like that?
Yeah, it's 86, I think.
Yeah.
It's high.
I think he's going to go up to like 10,000 feet on that run.
Yep, and it's 4 degree grade.
4%?
Yeah, 4%, so that's as high as any train can do.
And there's the little depot. Probably couldn't see it while ago. Chalmers, New Mexico. Come on out, ride the train. It's a snow blower. And it
big diesels in them, and man, they can do this.
It blows it out that chute. The snow blows out that chute up there, and then the operator can blow it out this side, or he can blow it out that side, depending on what he wants to do. And I asked the question how this thing was driven. It takes 3 guys to run this thing. A locomotive train has to push it. It has no power whatsoever. But in that car right there is the same steam engine that's in the locomotive. It's identical. It's the same thing. So, or maybe it's in that car. I'm maybe not telling this right, but it's in there somewhere. I'm going to bet it's in that back one. And so it runs 190 pounds of steam, I'm assuming, and turns that big blower on the front. There's a good picture of the chute. When the snow blows out, boy, I bet that's a sight to... Anyway, they don't use this thing anymore. Just enormous amount of money to operate it, so they use something more modern to blow the snow off track now, diesel. But there's another one there. It looks like somewhat of a different model. That's the way they used to do it. Me and Marty left Chalmers, New Mexico at the Cumbers and Toltec Railroad, and there's a steam locomotive right out there. He's chucking up a 4% grade, and that is all the work that engine is capable of. It's just really working its butt off. The guy's really having to keep her stoked with coal to keep it moving. This is one of the most beautiful roads I've ridden on, and Marty's just astounded with this. Well, look at the smoke coming out of there. He's blowing off some steam. He's probably only going about 12 miles an hour. Bicycle's probably going faster than that train is. Hey, boy, he's working hard, ain't he? There must be a forest fire out there somewhere. Boy, there's a heck of a fire going on out here. Holy shit, that was loud. I got my earplug out. On the Durango train, they won't let you get out on the back of the car like that or in between the cars. Like I said, this train here is much more relaxed. Yeah, I got my earplugs in. That was deafening, was it?
Oh, holy crap. Oh, here's a little guy here.
Here comes the putt-putt car. Putt-putt-putt-putt-putt-putt-putt. The old ones had little two-stroke motors in them. Just went putt-putt-putt-putt-putt-putt-putt-putt. When I was a kid, this may be a more modern thing. Yeah, he's got a little four-cylinder gas motor in that rig. See all the people out here? Everybody here and everybody you talk to are train enthusiasts. They're just fascinated with trains. Such a beautiful thing to see and carry on this heritage. There's a lot of rich people out there that would like to see these trains shut down. In Durango, there's a lot of rich people there that got their nose up in the air trying to make it hard on these railroads to keep them going like it is. I think they ought to be hung myself, but that's just my opinion.